My whole life, I have been fortunate enough to go on vacation with my family, but it's the same vacation every year to Del Mar, California, where we have so many family memories. However, I have always had the urge to explore the unknown. Exploring the unknown became possible for me 4 years ago when I first stepped foot onto Boulder Creek as a freshman and became involved in global studies. I met a new group of kids who had the same desire to travel and become active global citizens. They embraced me with open arms, even though I had never been abroad. My peers shared their personal experiences abroad at our meetings. I remember sitting there in awe, thinking how lucky those kids were to be able to travel all over the world, something I never thought I would be able to do. My sophomore year, I found out about an opportunity to participate in a conservation trip to Costa Rica, hosted by Global Studies. I dreamt of going. It was on my mind all day, and I thought my parents would never let me travel abroad alone, especially because it wasn't our annual Del Mar trip. Since this trip was on my mind all day, I decided I couldn't let myself not at least ask to go, even though I figured it would be a no. After a lot of discussion, my parents saw the passion I had for this trip and decided to let me go, something I never thought would be possible. For the next 6 months, I kept dreaming of what Costa Rica would be like and how I was going to leave a positive impact 3,100 miles away. June 1st, 2015, my dream became a reality as my parents anxiously dropped me off at the airport to embark on the greatest adventure so far in my life. Costa Rica was the unknown. I finally got to see what life was like outside of the United States, and let me tell you, I loved it. The first half of the trip, we got to restore the mangroves in Costa Rica. We learned about how people have been cutting down the mangrove plants to build homes that back up to the water, but we got to go and replant all the plants in the riverbeds so that the mangroves could flourish like they were supposed to. After 2 days of hard work in the mangroves, we got to visit a local school. The visit to the school really impacted me because I've always loved kids. So being able to connect with kids from a different country who spoke a different language was something so incredible I'll never forget it. Leaving the kids was hard, and I still think about their smiling faces and active personalities all the time. After our volunteer portion of the trip, we got to explore all that this amazing country has to offer, like hiking to a magnificent waterfall, horseback riding by a volcano, zip-lining through the jungle, and swimming in natural hot springs. All these activities and experiences were my dreams coming true right in front of my eyes. Upon returning from my amazing trip, I was feeling inspired to make sure I stayed a committed, active global citizen, and was thinking of ways I could make that possible here in our community. I was like most students, and only wanted to take 2 years of Spanish. But after using my Spanish in a real-life context, I knew that the closest way for me to stay in touch with my travel bug was to take another year. Each day of my junior year, I sat in Spanish class and was more and more eager to learn, knowing this is what could connect me to so many people outside of the United States and learn more about different cultures. I began falling in love with it, thanks to my amazing teacher, Senora McCracken, and all my classmates. Springtime began and another travel opportunity came about. A 3-day trip to Rocky Point to go visit an orphanage and donate needed supplies. I had never been to Mexico, and this was another opportunity to explore the unknown. My parents had embraced my newfound desire to travel and learn about new cultures all over the world, so they graciously let me go. I dreamt of what Rocky Point would be like and how I would be able to make another positive impact 250 miles away. I learned it didn't matter how far away you go, you can make a difference anywhere. We went and got to spend a day playing soccer, jump roping, and connecting with the kids at the orphanage. I was so excited to be practicing my Spanish and forming friendships with people who I never imagined I would be meeting. My life was becoming something I only ever dreamt of, and all my dreams were becoming my reality again. I quickly realized after coming home on these trips, being a student and with the expensive cost of traveling, I couldn't be going somewhere all the time. But I learned you don't need to travel to be globally educated. There are documentaries you can watch, awesome cultural festivals all around Phoenix, and weekly meetings to global studies. My favorite thing outside of our meetings was the cultural festivals, something my family and I would have never thought of attending, but quickly became a fun family weekend activity. I got to go and be in a cultural environment right in Phoenix, making me even more excited to learn about the different unique cultures. I am now in my senior year, taking my 4th year of advanced placement Spanish, still extremely involved in global studies, and more confident in myself and my dreams than ever. I sit here today looking back on who I was 4 years ago, amazed at the transformation. I am a confident, curious girl because of the opportunities global studies provided me with 4 years ago. Opportunities I never thought were possible for me. These opportunities help me find my passions, which are my love for exploring the unknown, my love for Spanish, my love for meeting new people, and my love for being a global citizen. If you would have told me 4 years ago I had traveled outside of the United States to somewhere other than Del Mar, California on my own, I would have laughed. If you would have told me I would be planning to minor in Spanish in college, I would have said never. If you would have told me I had found my passion to be a global citizen by the age of 18, I wouldn't believe you. I wouldn't have discovered any of these things about myself if I didn't join global studies. But since I did, my dreams aren't dreams anymore. They are my reality.